Just got back from seeing the Backrooms. Was it good? It was okay. These are my unscripted thoughts. I'm just about to rant. I have no notes. I personally don't know that much about the Backrooms. I know what the Backrooms are. I don't know all the lore behind the Backrooms. So I went into this movie not really knowing what to expect. I'm going to spoil the shit out of this movie toward the later end of this video, by the way. Let's talk about it. Was it a good movie? It was okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this movie a 6. The acting was great. Not that there's many actors in it, but the actors that were in it, they were all great. All 5 of them. The first 30 minutes of the movie, I'm sitting there kind of like, all right, what's going on? But then, after those first 30 minutes were up, I was watching this movie like this. The score, I don't really remember what it was like. The cinematography was great. Again, the acting was great. You know, you got Chiwetel Ejiofor, his best performance since Children of Men. So like I said, the first 30 minutes of it, you're kind of like, what's going on? I really don't know the lore about the Backrooms. But then after that, the movie turns the creepy up to 10 because it becomes very creepy and it's very unsettling. There was a few moments that gave me goosebumps where I was like, whoa, what's going on? At the end of the movie, though, you're kind of just... The ending was kind of disappointing because it's like there were a lot of aspects. There were little things that were going on throughout this movie that they don't even touch on. They don't even touch on. And I'll get to that in spoilers. So let me just say, is this movie worth going to see in the theaters? I'm going to say yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. But it left me wanting more. It didn't end on a cliffhanger, but it ended on kind of the fuck? That's it? What about this thing? What about this? I'm going to get into spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the movie starts out with Chiwetel Ejiofor. I can't remember his character's name. We're just going to call him Ejiofor. And he owns a fucking furniture store. And he's a little shot out. He's got a psychologist. He sees her once a week. And he's got one employee named Kat. She's really hot. She's got a boyfriend. I forget what his name is. It's some white guy. He sleeps in his place of business because it's a furniture store. So he like rolls the TV out. He sleeps on a bed. And he's realizing, yo, I'm having all these problems with the electric bill. Why the fuck is the electric bill so high? He calls an electrician in. He's checking it out. He's like, oh, what's up with this fuse box over here? It's kind of fucked up looking. Why are these weird fuses down here? Chiwetel Ejiofor was sleeping there one night watching some old show. The lights start flickering. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? So he goes to check the fuse box, opens it up, plays with the fuses. Then he realizes, dude, I could see light through the wall. So boom, he goes to check the wall and he falls through into the back rooms. So he's searching it. He maps it out. He goes to his employee's house. He's like, listen, I need you and your boyfriend. I'll pay you guys overtime. Come help me search this thing. They search the back rooms. Meanwhile, there's cameras set up in the back rooms. I'm really going all over the place right now. So there are people watching him on the cameras, but you don't know who they are. You get a little sense of who they are at the beginning of the movie with this little found footage clip that they show. And it's set in the 1990s, by the way. Him and his 2 employees go search in the back rooms. They're in the back rooms. He has already mapped out a significant amount of it. And then the white dude dies because he goes down like this long angular hallway and then he comes into a creepy room with a bunch of dirty shit and then you see like a shadow thing and then it murders him. And they try to save him, but they can't. So Chiwetel Ejiofor gets lost in the back rooms. I think his name was Mark. Pretty sure it was Mark. I'm not going to look it up. So after this thing kills the white guy, the girl Kat and Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think his name was Mark again. Anyway, they're running. They're trying to get away. They're trying to escape this thing. And this thing brutally murders the white guy. So now they're lost in the back rooms. So this is where the creepiness gets turned up to 11. Because I'll say there were some unsettling scenes where Chiwetel Ejiofor runs into a room and there's a Christmas tree there And he's like, holy shit, there's a Christmas tree. All of a sudden, goes around the backside of the Christmas tree, and there's like a little person there sitting in a chair with a lamp and just turns the lamp on. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And he's distracted by this. And then some lady in business casual clothes just comes running out. That part gave me chills. So then somehow he calls his psychologist or psychiatrist. And he's like, I opened the window. I'm not coming back. And she's like, what the fuck does this mean? So she goes to his place of business because he had told her about the back rooms. And she was like, yeah, she wasn't coming off like she believed him. Now a psychologist is there. And she goes down in the basement. And she sees he's got the wall marked off for the entrance to the back rooms. She goes in there. What the fuck happened? She gets lost. And then she finds Chiwetel Ejiofor. And now he's going a little cuckoo. So he chokes her out. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, you know this guy was a little shot out, but I didn't think he was that shot out. He chokes this shit out, this bitch. Takes her to she wakes up in like a dining room with the little guy that was with the lamp. The lady with the business clothes is standing in the corner. And then there's a guy sitting there who's fat with like 3 noses and like 6 eyeballs. So he tries to explain to the fucking lady, oh, this is what I think's going on. This place is just remembering things, but it remembers things wrong. And he's got her tied up at a chair while business casual standing in the fucking corner. The little guy sitting over there in the other corner. And then there's this fat white guy with 6 eyeballs and like 2 noses, maybe 3 noses. He's just sitting there. And then Chiwetel Ejiofor is like, you know what's the best part about these people? You can eat them. And he rips the dude's shirt open and takes a chunk out the dude's stomach. Oh, also, he stabbed him in the neck. He's like, these people don't feel anything. Stabbed the dude in the neck, the 6-eyed guy. And then he fucking ripped out a chunk of the dude's stomach, and it's like made of rice. He's like, you can eat them. Here, have some. Gives some to the guy that he just ripped the shit out of. Then he sits there. Then you see the fucking business casual lady. She starts freaking out because something's coming. And what is it? It's a giant black pirate. Like, what the fuck is this? Mind you, early in the movie, Chiwetel Ejiofor was trying to make a commercial for his business where he was dressed up like a pirate. So this is what I'm thinking the Backrooms are. The Backrooms is like some kind of alternate dimension where when you go into this alternate dimension, you bring your own memories and stuff, and it adds to the Backrooms. So there's a giant African-American pirate who looks like Chiwetel Ejiofor, but he's all fucked up, and he's like 9 feet tall, and he's got a peg leg. And then he picks up Chiwetel Ejiofor like a baby. And then he says, I forget what the fuck he says, but then he just bites his neck and brutally murders him. And now the lady's sitting in the chair. She gets out and she starts running, and that was the most intense. One of the more intense parts of the movie. Cuts away at some point in the movie to a guy making popcorn in the real world. He's making popcorn, gives some to his kids. He sits down, and then he sees Chiwetel Ejiofor on a commercial dressed as a pirate. And then he's like, like he gets all creeped out. Now, this is what I didn't like about the movie. There's an organization of people watching these motherfuckers in the back rooms. They kind of know what's going on. They don't touch on it. They don't touch on it at all. It's not like some Men in Black organization, or maybe it is a branch of the government. It gets explained later in the movie that this guy that was eating popcorn that got all shocked when he saw Chiwetel Ejiofor on a commercial, he explains to the lady, the psychologist, that, oh, well, we used to make MRI machines, but this is way bigger than MRI machines. And it's insane. It's like they mapped out the back rooms, and the back rooms now has like everybody's memories that were there, or pieces of people's lives that have entered the back rooms. There's a section of the back rooms that looks like Kat's apartment building now. There's sections of the back rooms that look like the furniture store. And of course, there's this giant African-American pirate who's murdering people. I'll give them an A. Listen, I'll give you an A for effort on this movie, because I kind of enjoy movies that make me go, what the fuck is going on? And there was a lot of points where I was just like, what the fuck is happening right now. So after the pirate, let's rewind a little bit. After the pirate brutally murders Ejiofor and like rips him apart, the psychologist is running away from him. She's booking it. She's just trying to book it. She's opening doors. She runs through the part that looks like Kat's apartment building, or she runs through a part that looks like a neighborhood. She opens a door. Pirate's still chasing her, which is just an insane thing to say. She gets out into like a giant pit, but you can see all these different floors of the back rooms, and there's steps that just lead up to a door. She runs up those steps. It's a little ass door. She comes through the steps. Pirate's still fucking chasing her. When she gets out up top on the steps, it looks like the inside of the furniture store. But this part has been mapped out by these people that are like investigating the back rooms. She has a rock from when she was a child where she imprinted her hand on some cement, but then they demolished her house, but she saved that little piece of the rock and she keeps it in her pocket. So she's about to fight the pirate. She starts beating his ass with the rock. She fucks him up and he's all fucked up. And then she escapes through like, oh yeah, gas is going off. I guess, I don't know. I guess they were trying to catch the pirate or whatever. Gas is going off. And then boom, she escapes. She sees people in like hazmat suits and stuff. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? And then they just take her in for questioning. And they're like, how'd you get here? She's like, oh, I got here. She was like, what the fuck? She was like, am I still in the back room? She was like, he doesn't tell her. He doesn't tell her anything. This guy that's interviewing her doesn't tell her anything. This guy, I think his name was Josh, the guy that was eating the popcorn, gets her in a room. Before he takes her in the room, though, he walks her past a room that the pirate is dead and on a table. And she's like, wait a second. Wait a second. What the fuck is happening? Takes her into a room, sits her the fuck down, and he's like, yeah, how'd you get here? She's like, oh, inside of a fucking furniture store in the basement. And he was like, yeah. He was like, she's like, are you going to let me go? Or like, what's going on? And he doesn't answer any of her fucking important questions. He just sits there and just is questioning this lady. And she's like, he's like, were you looking for this guy? Shows him a picture of Chitawell. And she's like, yeah, that's who I was looking for. And then while she's sitting on the table, while she's sitting at the table talking to this guy with like two-way mirrors, I guess other people were watching what's going on, it just pans down. And it pans down into the back rooms. And it just starts showing sections of the back rooms that are just rooms that have debris all over the fucking floor. And it looks like her house before her house got torn down. It looks like the remains of her house after it got torn down. And it has signs for the new buildings that they're going to build. And then it keeps panning down. And then it pans down to a room that is in the shape of the room where she was being interrogated at. And she's sitting there and she's got 6 eyeballs all of a sudden. And she's just 8 fingers. And she's just sitting there with her 8 fucking fingers. And then the movie ended. The movie fucking ended on that. And I was like, whoa. What about these FBI agents or whoever the fuck they are? What about all these guys in hazmat suits? How many other dead creatures you got? That pissed me the fuck off. Was it still worth seeing? I thought it was. I thought it was okay. I don't feel like it was a waste of money. Scale of 1 to 10, 7 out of 10. But now it opens the door for like the future. Because I kind of want to see a sequel. Because there's a lot of questions you didn't fucking answer. Who the fuck are these guys? Sorry, I know I kind of go all over the place with the storytelling back and forth. But was it creepy as fuck? Yes. Were there some moments of tension? Yes. Was the acting fucking great? Yes. Was the cinematography good? Yes. Was the pacing kind of slow? Yes. Should you go see this? If you're a big fan of the Backrooms, go see it. You'll probably enjoy it. If you like creepy movies, go see it. I saw it in a packed theater, and there were a lot of moments where people were getting freaked out, and people seemed to be enjoying themselves. But I'm gonna say go see it. Go see it. You can call me an asshole in the comments if you went and you saw it and you didn't like it. Just leave a comment or a thumbs down this video. Not that I have like 8 subscribers. So if any 8 of you watch this, just leave a thumbs down or just say, you know what, you're an asshole. That movie fucking sucked. Send me my money. I'm not gonna do that, but you could request it. But now I want to see. But now they've piqued my interest though, because it's like, okay, who else is stuck in the back rooms? What other dude? What if a dude? I think this movie was set in San Jose. So what if some gangster dude with his gangster memories went into the back rooms? Are there gonna be like some hood spots in the back rooms? Is it gonna be like, what if a crackhead went in there? Are there gonna be some alleyways where he goes and takes a shit? Maybe. But if I went in the back rooms, I'll tell you. If I went in the back rooms, let me tell you what it'd probably be. It'd be a section, because you guys don't know much about me, but what I do for a living is I wash dogs. That's not a joke. I'm being dead serious. I wash dogs and I take care of cats. So 9 hours a day, I just got meow, 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 meow. Dogs pissing on me, biting me, shitting on me. I had a cat shit all down me the other day. So my back rooms. So if I went to the back rooms, you'll know it's my section of the back rooms, because there will be a lot of animal feces and cages and possibly a lot of cats. That would be my backroom demon. A pregnant cat. A giant pregnant cat. Just like, rawr, rawr, just having babies. And they start following me. That would be my backroom's nightmare. If I was in the backrooms, that's what the fuck would happen to me. Maybe a fucking giant fucking chihuahua. A giant cat and a giant chihuahua. That's how you know you're in my section of backrooms. If you see a giant fucking chihuahua and a cat that's pregnant who's giving birth to demons. That's all I got to say. By the way, I'm not one of those assholes who keeps the sticker on his hat. That's actually the magnet, because there's a microphone up there. So don't judge me.